How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Exciting news, we just broke 1,000 subscribers. Who'd have thought it, eh? Well, we got there. So what you can see me doing today, this is part 2 of the Machete overhaul, and the forge is lit. Now if you're wondering about that forge, it's a coal forge. It's made of 2 steel rims from a Subaru Justy, and the big air pump at the bottom, and some coal in the top. Simple as that. And it makes a big old fire. Now I spoke to the customer, and he wanted to go ahead and straighten the blade as much as we can. So that's what we're going to do. Now you might be wondering, why have you got a piece of steel in your anvil and not using the anvil itself? And the answer is because the steel is straighter than the anvil. I need to have that anvil reground at a machine shop, and that's not going to be cheap, so it hasn't been done. But that bit of steel will do the job just fine for something as thin as this blade. It was warping in the fire. Just craziness. I've never put anything that thin in the fire. There's probably a good reason for that. You get it up to temperature and it melts away in front of your eyes. But with the old wooden hammer, we managed to get it straight in the end. So as I said, we've hit 1,000 subscribers. What do you think I should do to celebrate? I mean, making something out of 1,000 pieces is... that's a lot of pieces, folks. So let me know in the comments if you think I should do something special for 1,000, or what you think I should do. Alright, so it's time to quench the blade. And to prevent any warping, I've got them 2 bits of steel on the floor, and I'm going to let it cool down, do its final cool between 2 pieces of steel with some 2 56-pound weights on the top. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Okay, well that was incredibly stressful. This is a very thin piece of steel to be putting in the forge at all, really. But it's come out and it's a lot straighter than it was. I'm not going to pretend that it's perfect, but it's a lot straighter than it was. And if we see if it's hard, the way you test it, to see if the file will dig in. And that sound, that's hard, really hard. Okay, so that's nice and hard. So it's time to polish off the scale. And then we get to the laborious task of going through the grits. All the way to 3,000 grit. I really tried to get to the bottom of those rust pits, but they were really deep. Alrighty, that's what we started off with, and that's where we've got to. Certainly a lot better than it was. That's 3,000 grit plus compounds. That's where it was. That's where it is. Okay, so we're now on to day 3. As you can see, I've cut those handle scales to size. Now, you'll see the brass for 1 minute there, and then the brass will disappear because it was too soft, and it bent and made a right mess when I tried to put the scales together. So in this shot, you'll see I've replaced it with steel pins. And we're now just doing the rough contouring on the belt sander. Very carefully using the Dremel. So I started off sanding at 120 grit, do the rough contouring, and I sanded up to 800 grit on the handle. And I can tell you it's silky smooth. Just a bit of finishing off with the 800 on the corners. Now, if you watch a lot of bladesmithing channels, they usually go and chop watermelons or slice bits of meat or whatever. But I didn't have any of those things. So we just went and attacked a bush. That's what it's for, after all. It's a machete. It's for cutting through bushes and thistles, apparently. We're going to cut through some thistles. I put a 1000 grit edge on it, and it is pretty sharp. Got a bit excited there. Calm down, Will. Alright, so here are the Glamour Shots. Now, thanks for watching this video. I know that it's not your usual cup of tea, and you like to watch the wood turning. And we'll be back to wood turning hopefully tomorrow if we can get some done. Yeah. At the end of this video, there's a little time-lapse of me revisiting a project I started 2 years ago, which was the most ambitious decking project I'd ever seen. And I had to go back and just check that it was alright, and they went for a colour change. So if you fancy watching that, that's right at the very end. But thanks very much for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one, folks. Cheers.